Me and Lamo was talking in the week, and I said, oh, no, I back mine every 2 months. He goes, no, you'll get infection. I'm like, you risk infection. I'm like, well, how do you degas your meat? The whole point of agitating it is why people, when they do their meats, they go, I've wrapped it and it's like bubbling again. It's not bubbling. What it is the gas has been agitated out. Yeah. It excited the liquid, so the gas comes out. So it will bubble because it's basically going, oh, movement, out comes the gas. And then everyone says it's re-fermented. No, it's not. It's
as soon as you started to get alcohol in there anyway, the chance of infection is going to start.
Especially when you're knocking about 18% cider or something. The size of that, 18.5. Right, so I've got friends at the vineyard.
But hang on, you rack it onto more honey, man.
Yeah.
So then it starts to kick it off again, won't it?
Well, the yeast gives up at 18.
Yeah.
No, I split feed mine. To do a real nice one, like a 5 pounder, the yeast is not going to take 5 pound of honey.
Yeah, all in one hit.
In a gallon. So what you would do is I'll do like 3 or 4. 3 is probably a good one, and then I'll whack it into another pound of honey per gallon.
And then do another one.
So when you do 11 gallons, mate, it's like wow. I mean, Jonah was at the place and he saw the size of the demijohns I got. I had 5 of them full. That's what's in the barrel in the vineyard, 50 gallons. You come back with about 3.5 gallons out of the lot when I wrapped into the barrel.
Yeah.
That was.
I'm going to have to get a mead on at some point. I've always got
because
I've never tried a proper mead. I had one from Mark Hill, and I've really liked it. It's just a basic mead, so I think I'm not.
Yeah, because I was talking to him, and
I'll get round to that.
I haven't seen him put
you wrapped it into.
Yeah, he gave me his recipe once, right?
Onto the fruit.
Yeah. I might do that.
A straight
It's been
mead.
back twice now.
A straight mead.
Onto the fruit, then off the fruit.
Takes longer
then
to age
onto
than
the
a fruit one.
Right.
I don't know why.
Maybe I'll do 2.
And do you know what? I've known people in the wine industry and everything, and I know people that are not commercial mead makers, but they are very well known in the UK. And one of them actually works in the brewery industry as a scientist. And I said, why does it age? And he said, do you know what? No one knows. These breweries spend millions on research on the development. So they might say, right, we want you to analyse and work out how to brew this hop. And part is that funding then goes into the programme when they go, well, we want to know why this happens. So they will fund it. They spend millions of pounds so they can improve their beers or fake it by a chemical. This is how they do it.
Yeah.
And they said, how can we fake age a beer or wine or that? And how did it come out? They don't know. They cannot understand the process of aging that goes on in the mead. They spend millions on this. The Americans do. But it's like American mead. 8 weeks. It's out of a conical. I've been to one, and it had like these 250 litre conical, plastic conical fermenters.
Yeah.
It's 8 weeks, bang. They kill it with sulphite, kill it with the old potassium sorbate, and they literally, it's in the bottle. And I'm thinking, we've killed the yeast. And it will age for about a year, and that's it. That's it. It'll never go any better, and it'll never go any worse. It's purely knock it out industry over there. And I'm thinking.
But they're in it for the money, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, but I want to go commercial. I've got my pension coming in 5 years' time for the military. But that's why I'm doing the 5-year-old meat. I'm going to have 400 bottles of meat that's 5 years old. There isn't a 5-year-old commercial available meat you can go and say, right, you cannot buy one. You have to go to an Abbey and you'll pay 28, 30 quid for one. With that in a bloody Kickstarter, like I said, I'll send that off to some of these food, like the food programme, Saturday morning brunch when it's gone. Say, here, try this shit, it's commercially available. You can get your licence, because you need a licence obviously like breweries, like an eatery or wine.
Yeah.
Get that no problem. Like the vineyard there, I can go under him. Wickham's only Wickham Meadery. If I have to, I'll get my own. But just to start off with that, and it'd be like, how much is that? 40 quid a bottle. And then you get your annual ones, and then your fruit ones, and all that to add on it. So that's why I've got the big demijohns. There's basically what the car was. It's like, okay, I'll start building the stock up. And there's a place up on the fort. They've got like archways. The guys renting the space there. So I know I'll do this. I said, I know what I'll do. Shuts it up because it's underground. It's set up. I mean.
Are they open then? Are they still?
What's that? The forts?
Yeah.
One of the forts is open.
Okay. Last time I was down, I saw the things. They were saying these are for rent. These archways.
Yeah.
No one had bought one.
But this one was up in the tunnels up there, and yeah, so it's like, chalk tunnels. It's just like Champagne region. Okay, fine. But I measured it up, and I worked out I get about 1,600 bottles there. So 1,600 backlog of mead. Start piling it up. 5 years, okay. Hence why I got the hives.
Yeah. But that's the thing, isn't it? Getting the right honey to. If you're going to, if you're going to wait a year or two to.
My mate made me with that Tesco's value 99p shit.
Yeah.
And they analysed a lot of this shit.
That's the shit. It's
Right.
crap, but it's
Well,
it's
no,
probably
no,
not
no,
even honey, is it?
No, they actually turn around and they actually find that 30% of it's a glucose syrup.
Yeah.
I mean, that's if you're going to sit on something for that amount of time, you might as well. I don't know. For me, I'll just spend that little bit extra to. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it.
Lidl's is good. They got £1.50 a pound. Not 340 jar. It's a proper pound jar.
Yeah.
£1.50. Yeah, I'll buy them by the case. When I'm doing like a quick whack out size or that, I'll throw that in. I'm not going to use a.
Nah.
But I still can't get over Grant sending out 2 kilos all the way from New Zealand. Still got it. I haven't made it up yet. I'm still going. I'll do it. No way. You get something. You go. I've got to make something special with this, and it's like, no way. And they'll go. Oh, I'll use that use. And I go, no way. It's not like, I don't want to fuck it up because I want to send them a bottle back. But I'm thinking,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you go. What do I do with this?
Yeah.
I'll make a straight mead, but what yeast do I want? Do I want champagne it? It's like, your head's going 10 to a dozen because you really want to do something that's outstanding because it's just like, and I'll send it back to them and go, well, there's a bottle for you and the rest of it's ours.
Yeah.
But,
Well, if you don't know, you can imagine what we'd be like. Scratching our heads going. So, if there's one man that would know, mate, it'll be you, because we wouldn't.
oh, mate. But I mean, like me, I got into this because I was making HBW wines and I started brewing boots kits, 86. Then I started looking up and got a couple of demijohns given to me because I brewed beer. Well, okay, fine. And then I started hedge your own wines, foraging. I love it. That video of me on the crutches after the accident going picking blackberries and that, I got my finger fucked, my legs screwed, I'm still picking it, boy, it's free. No, what was it? It works out about £6.5 for a pound of blackberries from Tesco's. I ended up with something like £9 from one day's picking, and I was picking for the fortnight.
How they
Yeah,
charge
that's
that
nice
for
beer,
blackberries, I do not know.
Well, it's like the raspberries. I mean, I actually grow raspberries in the garden, but the time of year I decided to do that raspberry beer, I had to go to the supermarket to get them, and it was like, it was about £2 for 350 grams, so £6 for a kilo. So that's why only a kilo went into it, because otherwise it wasn't worth brewing, it was just getting too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, but then you look at the commercial price of that
It's
type
in a
of
split
beer.
one.
That for booze one, it's
Yeah.
Bacchus, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to get a small bottle, and that's like £2.
Yeah.
That's lovely though, I like that one.
I like it, yeah. I was going to review it on camera, but I thought the camera was flat and I wanted to drink it.
Yeah, I had that one the other day, yeah.
So,
There's one in there for each of you in there anyway, that but you might want to sit on it. In fact, all of those you probably want to sit on for a while.
yeah, the Aurora Smash I'll
There's
give
a
you.
couple in there
Afterwards,
as well.
I've done this Aurora Smash and I thought, well, okay, I was on the video, 20 minutes, I'll do 20 grams, 20 grams, 20 grams. That was it, 20 grams and then steep up for a run. And then I went, nah, fuck it, I'll bet it's 30 on the aroma, the flame out part. And literally just, I tasted it last night as a bottling because you get dripped. Yeah. And I was like, well, it's quite an unusual soft flavour.
Yeah.
It's quite a nice flavour. And then the bittering come in, and as soon as I tasted that, I thought, that's going to be a nice IPA, which is what I wanted roughly, but I thought, I don't even like that. You don't like your IPAs, do you, mate?
I do, but I don't like so much the American styles. I don't know why.
I do. I could
No,
drink
no.
my favourite.
Me and Benny Boy.
barrel of it.
He is a freaking English defence league of beer, isn't he? Fobble's gone, Northern Brewer, that's it.
There's some I like. I know what they're trying to do, but the IPA should be heavily bittered, and obviously the American styles really like going for the aroma. You know what I mean?
No, if you can get like when
You
we
do
went
get bitter
when
ones
we
as
went
well. You know
yeah,
what I mean? But-
GBBF and we had the Arrogant Bastard Ale, that is super
Yeah.
bitter, but
It's-
the
yeah,
aroma
it's- yeah.
is
You'll have to
but
convince
it's
me,
like
boys.
both ends.
That's what I do.
It almost
Yeah.
makes your
Yeah.
eyes water when you drink
but
it.
see, the thing is, once you get to, and Tony says it, once you get to 80 IBUs,
You can't
within,
taste it anyway.
most people's 60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says 80 is the limit. Most people's range is 60 to, say, 80.
Yeah,
And if you can taste 80 above 70, you're doing well, because I can't.
Yeah.
I've had beers where I've gone.
I don't know what the IBUs on
I don't
that
know.
were, but all I know is
Something
it tasted. It
ridiculous,
was
The thing, yeah, but
Which
people
one was
forget.
that? The dogfish.
Aragon
Oh,
Master.
right.
That 120, I've had that. It is a lovely drink. I haven't had that much of it because me and my mate had to share a bottle because
Yeah.
it's like rare shit. And we got it sent over. But I mean, IPAs, my first drink was Curry's S-IPA. Do you remember that? The red little thing, in it. I mean, that was like, that went out because you had S-IPA, Directors was the purple and the blue was Curry's Best. That was it.
Yeah.
They were
Give you a point when I
No, the S-IPA was quite nice. It was a nice pint. I didn't like the bitter too much, the best. And then my taste changed.
Yeah, the best though.
But it's gone
The
better.
best is a good steak.
But you get
But
the Americans
Directors is
commenting on
lovely.
the beers that the IPAs I've given him, and they say they're too dark for the Americans. And I do put more
Yeah.
malts in mine, and I do bitter mine.
Yeah.
But the other thing
Well,
is
that's
with
colour. I
colour.
don't know, man. I reckon.
That's because this is the difference between what I class as your home brew is your home brewer, but a lot of the American guys go, it's got to be. They learn that style because they're taught that style. It's got to sit in that category.
for sure.
Well,
It's got to be hot.
I've been around this country and I've had some bitters up north that they would say that's as dark as a brown ale. But then you go Kent or the West Country,
Yeah.
you have a
Yeah.
bitter, and it's like a pale
It's a
ale.
straw colour.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, who's to say what colour it is?
Exactly.
Because either water changes it.
Yeah, true.
And
And
the
the boil
and the other
time
thing,
and all that.
it's not so much the boil time, it's purely down to the water because the pH of the mash, if you go low like 5.2, you don't get that Maillard reaction.
Yeah.
See, the colouring when
Okay,
you boil
right.
on it. Whereas if your pH is up 5.4, you will get the colour. That's why Stoutses are better in alkaline water.
Yeah.
But then you're sparging, when you're sparging, if you draw out acidity flavours, it's because your pH buffer of the grain is gone when you're sparging, and your pH has gone above 6. So that's why sometimes I'll throw, if depending on the beer I'm throwing, I'm thinking, I'm making a big batch here, I know my water's hard, solid, and I'll throw in the boil kettles before I actually, with HRT, before I pull it off, I'll throw in some citric acid, only a teaspoon or half,
Yeah.
so it keeps the pH below 6, because once you hit 6 you start drawing out tannins. And Brewdad was talking to me and I thought about it and I went, and I said to him, throw in some citric acid, because he's using supermarket water because his water's so shit.
Yeah.
But he said he's getting this astringency and I think, well, he's pulling out the tannins. You're over sparging or you need to whack in a bit of citric acid to get your pH below
Easy
6.
to oversparge as well.
That's why I like
I
that
think that's
sparging.
what went wrong with the steam beer the first couple of times. In hindsight, it wasn't the yeast or flavour, something had gone wrong with the grain.
The pH is going above when you're sparging.
Probably. I mean, it was like one of the first things I brewed all grains. I was
I
just
can't-
thinking water was going everywhere.
I can't be bothered. Honestly, I've done it. I cannot be bothered to fly spiders anymore. I mean, well, I'm not.
I'm going to give it another go next
Well,
time.
Mine's easy.
But
Well, I haven't got the time. Well, it's not that. I ain't got the
What, on
time.
the fly one?
But
Yeah, I
basically,
haven't
to
got
me,
the
just whack it in
little
and switch it.
spin, I
And you
think,
don't
so.
tend to get. I don't find you don't get your grains going 10-10. You know, and if you fly spot, you've got to monitor your pH and your sugars coming out. But if you're batch spotting, it's like, okay, my kettle's that, I need that.
yeah.
I'll whack the lot in and just rinse it down 20 minutes just to rinse all the sugars off and drain that out. And then
It's a lot
It
easier.
is easier.
And then what I'll do is I'll go to the boil kettle, it's full up the top, it's boiling down, I'll go back to the mash tun and I'll go, right, I know it's now, and then I'll drain that last bit off, and I'll just top that in, it's usually about 2-3 litres. People think, oh, that's dead space. No, I've got no dead space in the mash tun, so I've got that channel on mine. So I lose about 100 millilitres. What I'm drawing off
Yeah.
is all the liquid, it's finally settled from the grain, and I just draw that off and I throw that in the mash tun because I don't want to lose the sugar.
Imperial Stout, that grain was to the lid. When I did the mash out stage, it was to the lid. And I shut it down like that, it was to the fucking top. And that's quite a big mash tun.
You've got the same as me, a big 45 thing.
It
Yeah,
was
one,
the same as
I
mine.
swear, yeah. That was to the lid, mate.
How much grain did you have in there? 16, 17?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
That old bootneck was only 8 kilos. And now, I thought, like, I'm not going to be bothering going like, my one's 2.5. I aim for 2.3 because that gives me my adjustment. Shit, it's too hot, but it was too low from what I want to mash at. So then a litre of boiling water will bring up the mash by a good degree into the nice steam. So 2.3 is good. If I start off at 2.3, then I can add some adjust. I'm not losing that concentration. But if you're recirculating like Harry is, because I was saying to him, well, you're recirculating, maybe you want to up your original mash, and drop your sparge down a bit, because you're getting more out of that grain because of its movement.
Yeah.
And then sparge will.
Yeah. Harry made some comments about doing the sort of split day thing about how well that's worked. I mean, it's worked. It's been working.
That's what Tony does.
But what he was saying is, if you're not mashing out,
your enzymes are going to be dry. Your beer's going to be dry because your enzymes are still working.
And I've noticed they've been finishing very low.
But I did say to you, bring your temperature up. Do you remember when I said to you?
The last beer I've done it on the porter, I've mashed much higher.
Yeah.
Nearer to 68.
But do you remember when you turn? But even then, as it cools down, the enzymes are kick in again.
Yeah.
But do you remember I said to you when you said, "Oh, I see your sparge temperature 85," and I thought, "Shit, you're going to draw all the tannins out."
Yeah.
Because that's a way to kill it. Kill the enzyme and bring your grain temperature up. And then your water just goes straight in at 77. You're going to lose a degree or two, but you've killed your enzymes anyhow.
Yeah.
So that's, once you get above 79, 80, you will draw out tannins in that.
So you reckon I should do a mash out there probably if I'm going to do
You'll be better off doing a mash out for an overnight job.
Yeah.
Just all you got to do is literally boiling water. I think you probably get away with 3, 4, 5 litres.
Yeah.
About 5 litres, depends on the recipe.
Depends on how much grain build you got and how much to set. But you just literally boiling water and just go and slowly add it in and stir it around.
Mine goes in at 203 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
It's a beer smith.
I just whack boiling water.
Yeah.
I literally, it's for the HLT.
You just keep adding it till you're at the right temperature. And
So I stir it, I'll add it, because I've got the HLT, I'll do like a litre at a time and I'll literally just pour it around the thing and then stir it, and I'll do about 2 or 3. But once I hit 75.5, I always go up to 77 to kill the enzymes. Because I was thinking, I might do that overnight jobby.
Yeah.
Especially when I've got another big beer coming up. I've got the braggot to do.
It just works for me, like being able to do it at night after little fellas.
We've got an hour's boil time, isn't it?
And then in the morning just get it boiled, and then I can just leave it chilling, however long that takes, whatever. It's not a problem. So it's worked quite well, but yeah, I've been getting very low, like 1,005.
Well, breweries don't. I mean, I know Ringwood. Ringwood's famous for 49 and Old Thumper and that. But they used to have a really good beer called Farmy's Glory, and they don't make it no more. But Ringwood started out as a little local brewery that was like a real ale brewery.
Yeah.
Now they're exporting it all over. And if you notice on their thing, they go, it's not a real ale no more, it's a craft beer, and the price went up. But Ringwood used to mash overnight, and it was the day shift that come in and threw it all into and changed it. They used to let it chill.
A lot of people I know doing overnight mashing.
But just actually leaving it in the mash tun
Leaving the mash
overnight.
overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight mashing, well, I mean, I've done it. I've called in, I had to do the braggot, because you've got to get it this time of year. I'm a bit late this year, but I've had to smash off and then other things. But I'm going to do the braggot this week till the next weekend. Well, it's looking good. So what I might do is mash in at night. Now I've done it before. I've actually gone right. I need 20 litres of the mash. I'll do 28 solid, and I've put it in at a high temperature and let it go. And the next day I've had to bring it back up to sparge temperature of 75. And luckily with the honey it didn't end up too dry.
Yeah.
8% is fairly normal.
Yeah.
What, turbo?
Yeah. He said
Yeah.
when he drinks a few of those, he said he loses like 4 hours of his life. And I just laughed, because I said that months ago when I was with him.
The old citrus cider, yeah.
It's,
I
dodgy.
was
Did you see
drinking,
him the other night? Did you watch any of the things on Friday night?
I'm about a week behind always.
Because he was hammered, man. He was absolutely hammered. And he was trying to talk, but then he was typing and he was just coming up with random letters, and I was looking and going, what the fuck is he on about? Mental.
I was casting in the night last week. It was Sunday. I think Tom and Harry gone through. So and then I think everyone had a long weekend, and I just went, fuck it, I'll do a cast. So I did a couple of hours getting on late. So I was like, I'm going to have a drink, fuck it, I'll do a cast for a couple of hours, listen to some decent music, why not? And we did play that much music. We were talking in the chat room on there, going, what do you think of that? It was like brewing chat. And then I turned around halfway through, so quite a few blokes come in from Oh, this is brilliant. Talking about brewing, like, and they were coming in going, talking about, that's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And halfway through, I was just like, yes, and the information you're getting is from an old hand who knows what he's talking about.
Is he still alive? Last time I saw him, he was like fucking gibbering out. That was funny.
Yeah, Norfolk.
I was waiting for the jaw to come out.
I thought he just fucking
died.
I thought he died on
What did he do
live.
then? I don't know.
Fell asleep on his cars. He does a 16, 17 hour cars. He just keeps going on to this. He's a pisser.
16, 17 hours?
Yeah.
I've never watched it. I've never watched it.
Because I started mine last night about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's still.
And no one was there. No one was coming in. I had about 2 or 3 people in the room, and I was like, "The fuck, no, you know."
Well,
everyone knows the time. What's going on? So I went into the brewers' chat. Yeah, went into the brewers' chat, and Tom goes, "No, we're not looking at you, mate. Look at Craig." So I was like, "All right." Went back into mine and said, "All right, guys, let's look at Craig," and I popped the link in. So fucking. It was still broadcasting, but obviously I was watching Craig's, and all you see is the camera from above, and he's like that, and you see his fucking record going round and round, and the fucking needles start bouncing at the end. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Was he alright though?
He got up, yeah, he got up eventually, but he sort of fucking did a bit of a stagger.
You know, laughing away, and he's probably had a heart attack or something like that.
No, the best bit was, he turned the light off, right? And there's still like 140 people watching a red light and this fucking turntable spinning around. 140 people watching it.
Wow.
It's like, oh,
So hang on, let's break this down here. There's 140 people watching a red light and a turntable going around.
No sound.
He'd left.
And no sound.
No sound, and he left.
Because there was nobody in your...
No, by that time, I don't know.
Right?
I'm obviously doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
Next week I'll get some lights and
Turn the lights off. Right, people are fucking flocking.
I like his humour.
Don't just fell asleep. They're not me now. Pretend you're asleep. Pretend you're asleep. Right.
That's it. I'll do that. I'll get a white wig on and I'll just fucking like...
That's going out on YouTube in a week.
Johnny like the casting no more.
No, he's dead. R.I.P.
He's going to have a red light around, look at the door going, how much, love?
But no, that was really weird. It was just, yeah. And all the chat room was still open and people are like, oh, is he alright? Is he alright? It's like, he's not in the fucking room. He's fucked off. He's just forgotten to turn it off. Yeah. That was funny, man. Because I didn't know that you were, well, eventually I worked out that you were bottling. Yeah. And then you come back with like, oh, I've bottled like, was it 60, 70 litres or something?
70 bottles.
70
bottles in a 2 litre.
Fuck, that's what you've been doing. I thought you were a bit quiet.
Well, it's coming out, because what I do, that's the other thing I do when I prime mine. Well, I generally do it. I don't tend to get too much of a fizz. But that cider, I think the cider rushed up because I was trying to get that bottled quick because you were coming down.
Yeah. But did you batch?
I batch prime. I don't use
okay.
The reason being, because the Seaspring can vary quite a lot for the size of the thing. The way to do it is, if you go to the priming calculator, like a Brewer's Friend,
I use that.
All Northern Brew as well, because it gives you different. Because Brewer's Friend gives you corn sugar, DME, and table sugar.
Yeah.
Right. Go to northernbrewer.com. It's out by a couple of grams or points of a gram, but you've got molasses, honey, dark sugar, demi-layer. It gives you all the different types of sugar. So northernbrewer.com.
I use the Brewer's
That's
Friend
quite
as
good.
well,
But I look at both, and then I go, right, okay, I'll go between.
Never batch pint.
You know?
No. Always teaspoon in the bottle.
Yeah,
sometimes.
It depends what beer I'm doing. If I'm doing a stout, obviously stout porters you want to be at around 2.
Do you give it a good stir around when you're batch priming?
What I do is I take the sugar I've got and I add 200 millilitres of off the boil water.
Yeah.
Let it dissolve. Let it cool for a little bit. Then I'll gently stir the thing and then just pour it in.
Right.
Then leave it an hour so that the sugar's dissolved and the yeast starts kicking in on it. Before
so that's why you're getting your bit of bubble in there.
And then, see, I don't do. I've had a bit of sugar in our bottle. I'll leave. That's why I said to you.
You leave it because I'm always a bit
Well, I
worried.
normally leave it about an hour.
Because I wonder sometimes when I'm leaving it, am I letting all the sugar settle to the bottom?
No, because if you dissolve it with water,
If it's in solution, it
it's in
won't.
solution. But the other thing is, if you're stirring it gently. Now my bottle, I literally go.
Yeah. Okay.
My bottling bucket is literally just for bottling. All I do is I rack from secondary air. Now my beers, I tend to leave. I don't do a week in out. I mean that's the midnight brew. That's nearly a month old, isn't it? Midnight. That's in primary. So I had to go into secondary for 2 weeks. And then but my beers are clear now. Harry said, oh yeah, but you won't get the yeast reaction. The yeast is the solution, isn't it?
Yeah. Just takes longer to calm.
Yeah.
But then all I say, I mean, my celery, I've got that cupboard in there, it stays dead on 12.5 degrees.
Saying that, did Tom send you any beers?
Yeah, he sent me
Because he was saying that he was going, oh man, like it's finished really high, and I was like, and he goes, oh, and they're not carbon up either, and I was thinking, you fuck the yeast somehow, man.
He's thrown those
No,
didn't
he overboiled.
Something weird's happened,
overboiled his wort. So now he's
that's right. 'Cause he boiled it down.
He boiled it an hour. But he did an no sparge.
But then he added
because
water
the reason being, if he did a no sparge, basically all his sugars are quite concentrated.
Yeah.
You tend to get the longer chains, which are the unfermentables, and the longer chains that are fermentable. Because he did this no sparge method.
Right.
Then he turned around and did an hour boil. Well, when you boil, you're making that Maillard reaction, you're changing amino acids and the sugars into longer chain sugars, unfermentables again.
Yeah.
So it's great with a bit of a power to get some colour and sweetness back into it, but it ain't no good for a no sparge method because he's not diluted, he's not got the shorter chains.
Yeah, because he boiled it for an hour before he started his actual, before he put his sauce in.
So what he's done, he's mashed
He
it.
boiled it
He's
for
put
like
all
2
the
hours.
all the waters in the mash.
So he ended up from a pot like that, he ended up with
boiled the
that.
whole thing.
He had to top it up with water.
Concentrated.
Yeah, it was like a concentrate.
What was that to try and get a big beer? Then,
I don't know, he was just fucking about.
He's just read up about this no sparge.
Someone said that to me.
That was my fault.
No sparge method.
Someone's told me to try no sparge, but I was a bit.
Well, the thing is with it, if you're going to do it, you need 20% more than grain.
Big beer, little beer.
Economically.
It'll work.
If I do when I do my bracket, I literally do a batch sparge and that, and when I've done the bracket, I'll then turn around and do another batch sparge, and now drain that off, and I can make a pale ale out of that.
Yeah.
Because the amount of, I mean, I use something like 7 or 8 kilos of maltite for my AG bracket, which I'm going back to. I mean, last year, because I hadn't done AG for a while, the year before we was concentrating on this big barrel of mead, you know, and when I went off to Italy for 9 weeks, so I didn't get much brewing done. Because of that, I think at the AG I thought, oh, I've got to use all this extract and that. That's why I did an extract bracket. I mean, it tasted alright.
How much Marisol did you put in your smash? Roughly.
5, I think.
And was that pre-crushed?
No, that was the stuff I got a few.
And you ground it with that little thing?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
It didn't take that long.
What, that Corona?
The hand
I was thinking about getting the old 22 one, yeah. Because I mean, if you
It didn't take that long. I did it that night. It was
how fine have you adjusted yours?
I think I need to go a little. It was quite fine, and then last time I used it, I think it loosened up and it was a bit too coarse. So I'm going to make it fine.
You want to do an imperial stout?
Oh no, I'll buy pre-crush for that.
That's what I say. I'm glad I had that big crush.
I got
No,
it.
5 kg. It didn't take me. Like, I was done in half an hour.
Yeah.
I'll put the old drill on mine.
No problem. I mean, all the
Started
other
to get
stuff
my
was
head.
pre-crushed.
I thought, nah, fuck this. I'll come the drill. Got the missus out there, she's
Change
fucking
hands,
tipping.
change hands,
The step
go
was
backwards.
tipping the grains in. Leslie's standing there and I'm going, look, I said I should film this family time. Look at your happy faces. I've got the drill then. It's quite funny. They love it when I brew in my
How
house.
fine is your crush compared to your old Corona one? Have you adjusted it?
I haven't adjusted it at all. I've left it as is.
Yeah.
Because the guy in the shop said this is the one that they use.
Yeah.
And he took me out the back and had a look and said, look, try that one.
And it's the same setup.
And it's the same setup, so I just left it as it is. And I'm happy with it. It's giving me no grief.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean I used for my smash, I think for the Calypso one, which there was one bottle left because it was so fucking nice. I was trying to save them, but I ended up drinking them. I had a big pet bottles from the send a few out. So sorry, you ain't getting
Was
that.
that the one you were drinking out of the?
That's the one
thing?
when Tom and Harry said, "Oh, Thursday night, yeah, I'm trying to bottle my clips out." They go, "Yeah, I'll
That's,
give
yeah,
this."
yeah,
And
yeah.
I literally, I had my, I was sat here and I'm going, yeah, it sounds like that. And I basically had no commercial beer, I had no beer in the house.
Mm.
Most of it's all up in the herb.
Right, where's
in
that
the shed.
FE gone?
And I just went, well, no, I was bottling it, but I hadn't primed it. And I went, fuck it. I'm sat there, what's that? That's my clips I smashed on draft. So you've got the last bottle, the last 660.
Ah,
So,
cool, man. They'll crack it open.
Yeah, I don't think my smash has carved up right yet. I've opened
That's
it
all right,
for a couple
because-
of weeks.
Dude, I used those little, what are those?
Drop, candy
the Tate and Lyle kind of
Candy drop.
candy sugar
Yeah.
things. I don't think you should use them.
No, can I?
They're not that great.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
It's always.
I thought it was like, yeah, they're really
Nah,
good.
no use them.
So-
because like the sediment, all right. When I was doing the, obviously I had them on the thing trying to.
After a week, you should shake your beers up again. Well, gently shake it up again.
Well,
Just
yeah,
get the yeast
it's
through it.
like-
It just works.
It's not solid. It's all fucking really powdery.
But
in
that's
the
the
bottom.
yeast.
Might be. I'm worried like when people open them,
It's
it's gonna fucking just. I didn't put that much in because obviously it's meant to be a traditional.
But candy sugar,
traditional dish.
candy-
Like
That's going around and running.
Well,
Right.
candy sugar.
One down. Tom's
Yeah.
out, that's two.
It might taste alright. It might taste
Candy
alright.
sugar is being caramelised. So
That's
that-
right. Yeah, you just crack it in a
Well,
pot and then
it's
let it
unfermentable.
bubble.
So
Yeah, yeah.
that's probably why you're not getting the carb
Yeah.
up. It's because you basically.
No, the carb. I got the carb up, but it just didn't. It never
Is it
fucking.
milky?
It never
Crikey.
settled out.
I
It's
mean,
weird.
anyone who says use packs, I mean that might
I'll
not
show you.
be
Grab one. Grab one out of the box.
But anyone who says use packs after 2 weeks is no. It takes about 6 weeks for it to do it.
Yeah, so that's not too
Careful
bad
with that
colour.
bit.
But look, if I do that,
Label falls off.
right, see what I mean? There's shit everywhere. See what I mean? It's coming up.
Yeah.
It's really fine. So it hasn't actually.
Yeah, we've got to give it time with cake.
Yeah.
Pressure of with cake.
But yeah, I mean, carb-wise, it's. I mean, it's not perfect.
You don't have to put your recipe, mate. You got the recipe on the back, right?
Yeah, you told me to, man.
No, I said put your recipe in the box.
Oh, sorry,
I'll
but
have to
I
see
stuck
that.
them on.
I need to. I'll have to send you the recipe.
But
Well,
yeah,
you got beersmith, haven't you?
If I've written it down.
If you got beersmith,
No, I haven't.
I have.
yeah.
Yes.
Why did you get your recipe? How did you work it out?
On the
Write-
fly.
Write it down on a bit
Being
of
on the
paper.
fly, you know, yeah.
You use Brewer's Friend, huh? Because you've already been told.
I sometimes use
Some
it, but
of them
I
are
don't
a
really
bit
for that. I just
skew
think I went 5 kilos and then I just
See,
5 kilos, what's
yeah,
that?
see at the
6%?
bottom, they're little floaters.
Yeah.
Kicking up.
Yeah. So
But if you leave it for half hour, they'll settle out. But then as soon as you crack it open,
Yeah,
they're all
no. That will cake. You've got 4 weeks.
Yeah, I hope it does, man.
Oh, you've got 4 weeks for it before you start. And you might have the last one. Talk about
There
that.
you go. I went for the thing. I got original gravity, final gravity, ABV, IBU, that's SRM. Whatever the fuck that is.
SRM is colour.
Ah, so there you go. So I did the full,
I mean, that's
product.
why I do videos so that I can remember what I've done half the time. I go back and
I'm terrible.
Where's your label, dude? It's around the other side. Oh, there you go.
Newport.
See that?
Start clear.
Yeah, nice and clear.
I'll show you.
But that's why I said
Bottled
that's.
last week.
Okay.
Murky
Maybe
heads.
that's that.
I like his
How
label.
long's yours been bottled though?
Isn't that
2 weeks.
You photoshopped
I'll
it.
get a bit of shape. I'll
Yeah,
get
but you've just travelled, but they're still clear at the top.
I'll get them a bit of a shape last
So like I
night.
said,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, these are on there. These are on their
Is that
side.
carved up?
It's cut
Sort of. It's getting there. It,
So you
I
got
had,
yours
I, I,
before
had
one,
one,
didn't
I
you?
had one a couple of nights ago, and basically it was like a car scale kind of level of carbonation, but it should go slightly.
Talk about that. Smash, let's do the draw.
I didn't know at that time. Well, he said, yeah, take care of it, you
I
know.
thought, well, I hope,
And then-
you know, it might be a bit lively.
I have to gas it a couple of times.
They couldn't wait. Drink me.
The foam, because it is so sweet, the foam does take a while to do it. So normally,
Oh, this is. Ooh.
I think.
Hang on. Hey, come on.
So that,
Was you? Wait, what? Didn't what you say?
that's your XP warning.
Yeah. Get someone out.
So yeah, I've started degassing it, but like I say, and you'll see the foam go up. It will take a while. If you degas it when it's cold, and then when it warms up,
Yeah, it'll have
just
to.
degas again a little bit. But at the end of the day, just go out, pop it over like I do. I pop it over the sink.
I saw you do it outside. It was quite chuckling.
Yeah, well, I normally do it in the sink, but that one even warm. That was cold. That was the same as that.
No word of lie.
Is that ready to drink, or shall I leave that?
Oh, you can drink it. You'll kick a lot of yeast up. But then again,
I feel a bit nervous without
that
the
is not as good now as when we had it, the early ones, because it's fermenting more. There's
It's getting a
more
bit
alcohol.
dry, yeah.
It's slightly dry, but you don't get that. I think the fruit, the raisins, the dark fruit, the Christmassy type thing, it's faded. The spices are slightly faded again.
Hey, that's why homebrew's good, man, because it does change over time.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
But then again, like, I like mine slightly, well, when I say slightly fresh, it was 7 months old then, but I mean, it's nearly a year now. You know? But yeah. So, yeah.
You got the shed, yeah?
I haven't got a shed.
Bomb-proof
And,
shelter.
funny enough, the shed's coming down in the summer, so if I put that in there,
Yeah. You might.
what's saving the job?
You just watch the sides go, and you go,
All done.
In
That's
reverse.
the shed down.
you get a new one, eh?
I'll build him one.
Cool.
Still reclaim bit of it. How do you get infection? How can you get infection if you cook it in?
Was that one that I had from Chris? Chris Frog.
It was cheap.
Literally 2 weeks, every night. Watch it all come up. I'll put it down, let it settle down. Maybe two or three times a night for 2 weeks. Then I put it in the fridge. And then by the time I poured it,
It's
it was
still,
totally
it's
gone.
still raging in the glass.
Yeah. When it all came out of the bottle, it started doing the old storm in there. It was nice though, it was quite nice. But yeah, a bit sweet, still sweet. So it was obvious he put too much sugar in it.
But yeah, I mean that was.
You know what? I don't usually put much sugar in my turbos anymore. Because they all come out.
What do you call it?
I don't add any sugar at all. Just
Yeah,
I thought turbo cider was basically used like a 3-day yeast.
Okay, I thought it was, you add sugar to it to make it more alcoholic.
Yeah, you had dextrose, don't you?
I think I only did
because
that
I used
first
to do
time.
that, and it came
Apple
out
juice
like
is too strong.
9,
It's like-
9.5.
Yeah, it was about
Apple juice is 1042.
Yeah, so that's fine.
More, yeah,
Yeah.
gives you what,
Get
4%?
into one.
Because someone said to me the other day, because you know that one I did in a hot tip,
Yeah.
and I got this comment from some twat, I don't know who the fuck he was, going, oh, you didn't take a hydrometer reading, you will not know how strong it is. And I was like,
It's
I know
4.2.
roughly how strong it is.
Who cares?
And yeah, I don't want it stronger than, I say 6, maybe 6.5 if the yeast, does well. I don't really care.
If you lose 4 hours of your life, it was a good one.
And because I was trying to do it all in one hit.
Night.
You see that one with the Boney M music?
Yeah.
I thought, right, I'll do that. I'll just show people how superbly easy it is to do it. Obviously the quick way. I think it was about 4:40 from
Start
scratch. Yeah, obviously without sanitising and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought I won't talk over it. I knew I was going to drop the volume and bung some music over. So it was all sort of like, this kind of apple juice, boom, boom. 4 minutes, 6% cider. Brilliant, man. You can't. That's what I think.
I mean, it's like they do the
Easy
leg,
peasy.
because everyone's going like, oh, how do you get hard and all that. And I was talking to Grant a lot, because he kept asking me questions like, I know probably.
Is he doing one now then?
Grant, he was the first Kiwi to do one. So it was
Yeah.
after Grant did it, everyone else started going, oh, look. Paul Wixley's done one, and he's like, I might as well in a bottle. I'm going, no, I ain't. No, I ain't. I told Grant, don't put it in bottles yet. I've got these pack captains, I said, you wait. Them longer chain sugars take months to break down before you put, otherwise you're going to have bottle explosions with carbs mead, which is not too good when it's half carb, they'd rather go champagne when you don't. And I did say to him, I said, no, don't do that. And then because I'm having, he said, oh, the mead's gone off the lid. I went, you don't know.
Don't listen.
You gotta let it degas. You don't let a mead degas, it won't age properly. It won't give it. And that's why they actually age a mead. Then they champagne it by sparkling it. It kills sorbet off and do all the other crap. But if you want to do natural, give it a couple of years and then go, okay, now we've got a little bit of champagne yeast at the top of this. You get 29ml one of them on a shed on a champagne bottle, just leave it. 18 months later, the longer you leave it, you get finer bubbles. And then you just basically, then you have to degorge it. And this is the fun bit, because I lose half a bottle.
That's the bit that I like the sound of, but holy shit.
If you've got a strong thumb,
you've
got quite a thumb, big thumb, haven't you? Yeah, you've got to have a big thumb and a strong one. And you literally go flip, bang,
fucking pissing out.
and it's like, and it pressure builds up, and you go, okay, chop it up with a bit of meat that's the same age from the same batch, and then you just put the pork on one
See,
cage.
what I was thinking, right? My idea
Then
was,
leave it another 6 months.
can't you just freeze turn it up,
You
invert
can,
it,
don't
and
you?
no, but not just freeze the end bit, but just freeze the whole bottle, yeah, and then go in and just scrape it off. You know what I mean? Scrape it off the, you know what I mean? But that would work, wouldn't it? It'd be a bit.
It's not fun, is it?
You don't want to sort of,
My mate Robert, I mean, they got a machine at the vineyard, and because they make sparkling wines.
Yeah.
They actually got a machine that does it. You know, they do it just literally goes flip, top up, and everything, and it's great.
Yeah.
But that ain't very good fucking video for YouTube, is it?
Nah, everyone wants to see explosion.
Everyone wants to see. Everyone wants to see me go. How much have I got?
yeah, right. Well, that's like, yeah, we need another six bottles to go.
Well, I'll top that up with about 4 bottles of mead.
Individual cider. They went all over
Oh,
our
man.
parasol.
Well, that's what I was.
That's
Classic.
I was tempted
That
to
was
warm
good.
this up,
I was so lucky that was outside.
but I had 3 of these in quarantine in the bucket. I bought down from Arts and Baggett, so I had 3 of them in the bucket outside, and it was a cold day and a very cold night. Sat here, doors open because I was having a fag and someone else went to the back, and all you heard was I shit himself. What the fuck was that? Just a sec. Oh, fuck, I've got one left. Fuck it, I'm drinking it.
Yeah, that was a nervous look on your face when that cider went everywhere. And you looked at your missus and you went,
I got to film it, and I went, oh yeah, I better go outside just in case.
"Who's
It's
your
the only time I've done it, like ever, and it was that. I mean, fuck.
Now, if that had been inside,
I'd have
you would
been,
have been what bucket beers, not in there.
I'd have been carpets.
I'd have been humdrum and quartered.
I'd have been fucked.